The story of PeeWee. Hey, mini fluffy face. You're going on 1 year almost of being here. Yes, 1 full year. He is about, 2 years and 4 months old, I believe, at this point. Right around there. And the story of PeeWee. After Vern had passed, I missed having a St. Bernard. And Jan found him online on a rescue site and reached out to his previous family to get the story on him. And it turned out about a week or so before we contacted him, PeeWee he had his first seizures. And, he didn't want to, dump the dog on us without figuring out what was going on, right? So he was taking him to his vet and what have you. There's the baby girl. And we assured him that we were okay with it and trying to figure out, what the problems are and get him the help he needed. And that's what we've been doing for the last year, right? Little did we know what it would grow into. I mean, like our savings account's down 20 grand right now in all the cost it has taken. I think we're around about 25 grand into them with the cost of his meds every month and stuff. But for me, there's no dollar amount for an innocent life, right? It comes down to the quality of life. And we've had 2 different vets speak the word euthanasia because every vet that has seen him has never seen a case so bad with epilepsy in a dog that they never seen a dog take so much medication for seizures as PeeWee is on right now. He's on like the Keppra, it's called something else. One of them's a generic term. He just got bumped up from 7,000 milligrams of that to 10,005 milligrams 3 times a day, every 8 hours of the quick release version, in hopes that dogs can, things go through a dog's system quicker than a human. So does eliminating the long release and giving him quicker release help get more, medicine into his system, while also adding a third medicine, zonisamide, I think it's called, something like that, if I pronounced it right. And he's on 800 milligrams of that, along with his 480 milligrams of the other one. It starts with a P. I can't remember it offhand. But, so he's on a lot of meds for seizures. What's today, the 9th? So we're about 21 days before we enter the danger zone. And what I mean by that is for the last 4 months, we've got the seizures down to only 1 time a month. And it happens between day 30 and day 40. And he'll have a cluster of seizures that we can't get under control. So he'll have his first seizure. Then we have these emergency rectal injection medicine to give him. And that's supposed to help control the seizures and basically stop them, but it doesn't. Last time, I think we ended up giving him like 65 milligrams of it, and it helped it didn't stop the seizures, but it made him less severe. He wasn't falling over and convulsing, but you could see his rapid eye movement, his head moving like he was confused, like he didn't know where he was. And these are all signs that I picked up in the past year, watching him have seizures and being there with him. And even this one time, the last time, I've never felt it before, but when I was petting him, his like brain was vibrating. It was so odd. And we could not get the seizures to stop. So the last 4 months, he had to go into the hospital for at least 3 days. And they would put an IV in him and get the medicine into his system better, more thoroughly, and it would stop the clusters. I mean, almost immediately. I think one time out of the past 4 months, he ended up having one seizure while he was there, but it was like an hour after we had dropped him off. So, so the IV works pretty well to keep him under control, but that's $1,500 every time we take him for those 3 days trips. So that's $1,500 for the last 4 months. Actually, it's been more than that because of the other issues that's been going on, where he came out and this leg right here, sometimes he'll get a reaction for the IV where his leg will be swollen. This time it was over swollen. I never seen it so big. We get him home, he can barely walk on it. He's wobbly. We're like, what's going on here? It started turning red. Touch it, it was warm, so we figured it was infected. Took him back in. He had a fever of like 104.9, I believe it was. So they wanted to keep him to get that infection under control. Look at you, baby. He's on so many pain pills and stuff right now, so I'll get to that in a minute. But so when I went to pick him up for the front leg being fixed, when I talked to him on the phone, the one doctor said you should think about euthanasia. And I'm like, I was confused because I was thinking, why? I almost feel like we have the seizures under control, right? Hopefully one more medication or change would help, because every time we've changed something, we've got a better result. So I felt like we were one step away from full control. So I was confused by why she would say that. Then I go to pick him up, and they bring him out with a sling on his backside, and he can't put weight on his back right leg where they had the IV. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, what the hell did they do to my dog? 2 legs, 2 IVs, 2 leg issues. So he walked to the car. I get him home. Over the next 24 hours, it's hurting him. He can't sit down properly without screaming. He can't get up without hurt. He can't get up, period. When we go to help him up, we end up hurting him because the leg is so painful. So after about 24 hours of trying to care for him to see if it would get better, I went and bought one of those harness things that you could attach here, and we used a towel for the back because we didn't have one of the easier used ones. So after about 24 hours of getting him outside to pee and go to the bathroom, we didn't notice he was getting any better, so I had to take him back into the hospital again. I took him to the other location this time, where he had been 2 times prior, and didn't really come out with any issues. So I felt safer taking him back there. Being the last place I took him, he comes out with 2 leg issues where the IVs were. So he ended up being there for 4 days. And right before the snowstorm, I was going to go pick him up no matter what, so he could be here during the snow, because some people weren't not going to be able to get to work and things like that. But that morning when I talked to the doctor, she said he got up on his own. And my first thought was, is she just saying that, right? My first question was, well, is it all because of the pain meds you got him on that he's just feeling invincible? And she goes, no, I don't think it is. Or I don't even think she used the word think. She goes, no, it's not. And I'm just like, well, are they just saying these things to try to clear out the animals from the hospital because the snow's coming and people might not be able to get to work and things like that? But I get there, and he walks out, I take my son's car because it's a lot lower to the ground. I mean, it's literally like that, so he can just walk straight in. And he pretty much did. I helped him a little bit with the back end. The hospital was nice enough to give me a sling with the handles and stuff. So I helped him into the car. Because they don't sell those at PetSmart. I tried and asked, and no. I would have had to order online, which it was saying it wouldn't be here till actually today. So I couldn't do that. And that was Amazon. And so I got him here. Snow starts coming down. And these two love snow. She flips flops in the snow, and we got a little hill. She'll flip on it and roll it in her back, and she'll slide down the hill on her back. It's a little bitty hill, but it's funny. When she hits it right, she slides right down. But and when the last snow we had, he would be out there playing, trying to get her to play. And I knew it wasn't going to happen this time because of the leg, but I still wanted to enjoy the snow with him because he's a Saint Bernard. And that's their history, right? So we got him home, and I'm, thinking, if this don't get better, we might be at a dead-end situation where, quality of life is, we're at the end of the road. If he can't walk anymore properly, plus seizures on top of it, where do I draw the line? With the seizures only, we had 3 great weeks, and then we'd have 1 week where he was down in the hospital and recovering. Then 3 great weeks, and then the same thing repeat for 4 months in a row. So for me, quality of life, that didn't fall into play because 3 weeks out of 4, he's a puppy and having fun, right? Now, if it was 2 and 2, then we'd seriously be thinking about something more extreme after trying every option available to get him under control. But so he's, at the worst level that any vet has seen him has ever seen. And the back leg. But the back leg has healed. It's not 100% yet, but it has improved a little bit almost daily since he's been here. I carry the sling out with me now, just in case, because some of the snow is deep. I did shovel them some pathways that they can walk on and go to the bathroom on and stuff. But so when I go take them out front, because I don't do the steps into the backyard, obviously. I take the sling out, but I have not had to use it in the last 3 days. He's still wobbly, of course. He still can't put total pressure on that leg, total weight. But for 2 days now, he has used it to scratch his ear and to scratch his chin. So he's got control over that leg again, where before that, there was no control. It would just drag and he would knuckle it when he walked. No control at all. Now when he walks, he doesn't knuckle it. It drags a little bit at times. You can see like a lot of the black is coming off on some of those. And this one too. And, oh, that's good. I've been trying to do that for this one, and I can never get a reaction. Try to tickle it. So if you saw that, it tickled him. I got to hit it just right. There we go. Let me try that spot over here. Nothing yet. So there's still a little bit going on here. He will attend to it a little bit. He'll like lick parts of it. Oh, she's dreaming. He will lick parts of it and what have you. Like there is something going on there, but at least he's feeling it now, whereas he wasn't feeling it before. He's dreaming. And like I said, he's for 2 days now, he's used it and lifted it to scratch himself. So that's been the plus for the last 2 days. The 1 week area is when he goes to the bathroom to stand to pee. he would, as he stood to pee, his back end would slowly fall as he's going to the bathroom, sometimes almost all the way to the ground. And same when he tries to squat to poop, his back end starts falling. Well, got up twice in the middle of the night last night to take him out and did not have that problem. Took him out twice today. One time he didn't have the problem. The other time he did start sinking down. So maybe he just found the right stance, maybe, to offset to go to the bathroom more comfortably. That could be it. But then again, we've got some icy snow still that he walks through, so it's not the best, not the most stable ground to go to the bathroom on. So that's playing a little bit into it also. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. I took him to his vet yesterday, and this vet, it's his vet. It's our main vet. He actually recommended us not to adopt him because of the seizures. His recommendation was don't adopt him, and we're like, no, we're going to go ahead and adopt him and try to care for him. But he checked his leg, and he didn't change anything that's been going on with the hospital meds. He's basically keep doing the same thing since you're seeing improvements in the leg. But then gave me a referral to a new place that opened up, the Neurological Center, the Animal Neurological Center. And supposedly, the guy who runs that place, who owns it, is really, from what my vet said, is really takes, what's the word I'm looking for? Like he gets involved with the dog, with the animals, right? He's not just come in, ABC, bye-bye, give me money. ABC, bye-bye, give me money. He's caring and cares about the longevity or the process, if you will. So he's invested into the animal. That's a good way to put it. So I haven't called them yet to set up a time or to figure out what we're doing, because they're not open 24 hours, but they have 24-hour care. So my goal is to get something set up, so whether we go over there and he does an initial, whatever he wants to do to meet the dog and get the PeeWee started and get familiar with PeeWee's history, et cetera, et cetera. And it would be nice that if these new seizure meds do not work, then instead of taking him to the other hospital, we can take him to here where there's just one doctor. The problem with the hospitals we were using, they have rotating doctors. So every doctor had a different theory or thought or idea. One was put him down because of the leg. Another one was a surgical. He needs surgery because he's got bad hips. And then another one was, well, we think it's neurological. So and then the last girl, she stated that she feels it will heal over time. So everyone had a different thought and opinion, and thankfully the last one was the most correct so far, that it's healing over time. So the goal is to limit the doctors and the opinions down to just the normal vet and one neurological doctor, and go from, just take it from there and see what's next. As with every month, I'm hopeful that the new add-on and the new change in the meds will stabilize his seizures, his epilepsy, but we will see. So, and again, people ask if I have tried the CBD oil or whatever it's called, CBD, and again, I have not. I've read one study done in March of last year that said it does not mix well with the seizure meds. So I don't want to take him off the seizure meds just to try something that may or may not work, especially being he has the most extreme case that anybody has seen around here so far. So that would be a last-ditch effort. Like if he's maxed out on meds and it's not doing anything, then I'm going to do whatever it takes for that next step to try something else, right? So my main concern is just to get the seizures under control. And being we're one step away from what I feel will be control, I don't want to jeopardize the process of getting them under control. And that's where I've been standing for the last little bit on that. So, but I think that's the full update on PeeWee and where we're at now and what's going on. So hopefully we'll have him going back up and down stairs before too long, and we'll have the seizures under control. That would be a nice little redemption, right? For the opinion of euthanasia, and yet, even though he would be on a lot of seizure meds, the fact that we can control it, and he goes on to be a normal little puppy beyond that. So right now he's on other pain meds. I just finished up, I believe it's his inflammatory meds, and he's on pain meds. And antibiotics. That's the other word I'm looking for. So I am finishing those up, and then we'll see where we're at. That will determine, where he is with his leg. When we're off the pain meds, how is he reacting with that leg? How is it doing? Is it in pain? Is it not in pain now because he's on pain meds, right? So we'll evaluate that part when we get to that situation too. They did the x-rays back, and they say he does have, bad hips, but most big dogs do. I honestly feel like something else happened. When I dropped him off with the front leg, he was a little wobbly before his back leg issue. So did he fall a wrong way because he was wobbly? Did they strike something wrong when they put the IV in? There's different reasonings. I know he has fallen here when he was wobbly from that before we took him in. So it could have just been, all that together. So the fact that we're improving is all that really matters. And that it looks like we will eventually at least be back to his normal. And then if not, and then when we go to this new neurological place, I can have him look at his backside and see if there's anything that he thinks is neurological too. If we have to get him another, get an MRI on his back, and he's already had an MRI on his brain, and there's nothing alarming or anything there. They did that for the seizure process. So if he has to get another MRI for the backside, then that's what we'll do. If we don't get 100% recovery from that, or if he just wants to get a good picture of it, I'm willing to put out, the money it's going to take to get it done, and just, make it, make them right. So every innocent life deserves to have, to live their best life, their most innocent life. Even he's for 2.5 years old, going on 2.5 years old. He's been through a lot. So the ultimate goal is just to get him playful again and stable again. Get him into the situation when I sit down on the floor, he just comes and throws his whole body on me. Like, here I am, boosh, pet me. He kind of still does that now in his state that he's in, but it's not as playful. It's more like he kind of comes, sits over, and he kind of like falls over on you, right? Still cute, but a little sad at the same time. But thankful that he can still He's still attentive to me. And actually, when I came home today, I went to pick up his meds. I came home, he was at the door waiting for me. That hasn't happened through this whole process. Before, anytime I'd leave, he'd lay at the door and wait for me. So to see him there when I came home, that felt normal again. So that was another piece of happiness for me, seeing that normality come back in that state. The next little normal thing I would like to see is right here. I bought like 6 of these in different sizes since he's been here, but this is his original one that he came with, that his family brought. And it was a little smaller one, so I bought the medium-sized ones and the large-sized ones. Because I was always afraid he was going to swallow this because it's so small. So the next normality I would love to see, is that a word, normality, would be him grabbing his ball and squeaking it. He would walk around with his balls in his mouth and just squeak. Squeak, walk, squeak, walk, squeak, walk. It was so cute. So that's the next thing I would like to see. All right. Well, that's everything we're at. I gotta, my mind's going every day, like, what can I create next to try to make up some of that savings money without I don't want to do a GoFundMe or anything. If I have the ability to work, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. So my mind's always turning, like, what can I do? What can I create to earn that extra money to make sure gets the rest. Well, he's going to get the rest of his care no matter what. But basically to get so that the savings account doesn't go negative, if you will. So my mind's just tossing and turning with ideas like, what can I do? What can I create to generate some extra income? So that's what I'm working on. I think that's one thing that kind of pushed the reaction video idea, in hopes that doing that would turn into something that would help fuel the YouTube channel and help raise the money every month with views, and in turn raise the income and start putting money back into the savings account. Have it start going up again instead of down. So that's my personal goal, beyond the making sure we get him stable and everything. So I guess we all have to have something to live for, right? And when you get to certain points in your life and your family's basically all gone and you've been through so many pets in your life, and with me I always have to have something to shoot for, almost monetarily, like, whether it's a nice car or, a peaceful place to sleep. Now it's just to stay stable monetarily and get him stable. So just kind of playing there together, if you will. So get the savings stable again and get PeeWee stable. So I think that's where we're at. So of course, if you see me doing any weird idea videos or anything, you know where they come from. Just trying to create something that might go viral to help help the channel grow, to help the overall situation. Nothing wrong with trying to, earn more money. Not that there's nothing wrong with GoFundMe or anything like that. It's just, for me, that's a last resort. I haven't been able to give to really any charities or anything over the past almost a year, I guess. I haven't been able to donate any money because it's all been going to him. But that's a donation worth it for me. So it's okay to be selfish and do something for my family. Instead of being able to help other people right now. So it's my time to be selfish for him. And since he's family, being selfish for my family. Making sure that my family is stable and happy. So peaceful. I thought he'd eat a big lunch, but he didn't because he ate all of his breakfast. So I made him an extra big lunch because he's lost 25 pounds during all this. He weighed 149 before the last set of seizures and all these hospital stays. He's at 125 now. So I've been trying to get a little bit more food in him and thought he would eat lunch well. So I gave him extra, his normal, what used to be normal, 3 scoops, 3 cups. And threw some extra hot dog in there so he would eat that, and he didn't want it. So I'll have to conjure something up for dinner to make sure he can eat that. So he's picky now. He's dreaming. It took me a while to realize, is he dreaming or is he having a seizure, right? So when he's moving like all the paws and stuff, and totally different from a seizure. His little snout moving. And it's good to see that right leg moving. Like when he was dreaming, say 3 or 4 days ago or whatever, that leg wouldn't move at all when he was dreaming. The other 3 would. And like he couldn't stretch it, where now he can stretch it. So he's definitely got control back over it. Now it's just about building it back up, I believe. All right, that's enough talking. I'm sorry. I gotta get back to work. Alrighty. I took the big bed back out of here and put it back in the living room because it was kind of in my way when I needed to take pictures and stuff. So they spend half the day in there in the big bed, and then I'll run in there and just jump in it with them. And then the rest of the day they'll spend in here with me. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. And sorry I went on for so long, but just reminiscing on the last year. It's been an eventful year, let me tell you. I never had a dog who had seizures before or anything, so learning how to adjust and react and how to help and all that. It's been an eventful learning process. So, all right, thanks everybody, and we will see you all in the next video.